Hi everyone, welcome to Dropouts. Today we are going to learn selection sort. If you are new to a programmer, then don't worry because selection sort is the easiest among all sorting algorithms available on the earth. Yeah. Before understanding selection algorithms, you have to remember few things. First, consider this as an array. This array has totally of 6 elements. Like every programming languages, this array starts from the 0th index and the index of the last element is nothing but the size minus 1. So here the size is 6, 6 minus 1 is 5. Consider this as a selector and this as an iterator. This selector and iterator will only move in the forward direction. This starting position of the iterator is actually the position of this selector. So here both selector and iterator points to the 0th index. The value in the 0th index is 50. So as of now we know only one value which is 50, so that we can assume that 50 is the minimum value. Whenever we are changing the index minimum value, that is whenever we are finding a new minimum value, we are going to update it here. Actually the index of that value. Here 50 is the minimum value, so that's index is 0. So now we are moving the iterator to first position. The value in the first position is 30, and comparing 30 to 50, 30 is minimum, so we are updating the index to 1. Now we are further updating the iterator to the second position and comparing 100 to the index of the minimum position is 1, so the value is 30, and comparing 100 to 30, 30 is still minimum, so we are moving the iterator to third position. Yeah, here comes 10, and comparing 10 to here the value in 1 is 30, and comparing 10 to 30, 10 is minimum, so we are updating the index to 3. So we are further up moving the iterator to fourth position. The value is 90, 90, and comparing to 10, 10 is minimum. We are further updating the iterator. The value is 40, 40 comparing to 10, 10 is still minimum. This iterator has already reached the end of the array, so we are now going to swap. Swap what? We are going to swap the value pointed by the selector to the value in the index of the minimum position. So the value pointed by the selector is 50, the value in the minimum position index is 10, so we are going to swap them both. Okay, this seems fine. Now this selector has actually founded the suitable value for the 0th index. So now we are moving the selector to do the job for the first index. So again, as I said, the starting position of the iterator has to be the position of the selector. Like we have found the suitable value for the 0th index, we are going to do the same for first index. We know only one element, that is 30, so the index is 1. We are moving the iterator to the second position. 130, 30 is minimum, and to the third position 50 and 30, 30 is still minimum. 90, 90 and 30, 30 is still minimum. 40 and 30, yeah, 30 is still minimum. So the iterator reached the end position. We are going to again swap what? The index of the minimum position is 1, and the selector also points to 1. So actually the value in the selector is actually the right value, so there is no need for swapping, so we can move the selector to the second position. Again iterator comes to position as selector. Now the minimum value is 100, so the index is 2. We are moving the iterator to third position. 50 and 100, 50 is minimum, so we are updating the index to 3. Moving the iterator to 4. 90 and 50, 50 is minimum. 40 and 50, 40 is minimum, so we are updating the index to 5. So now the iterator reached the end position. We are going to swap 100, and the minimum position index is 5 and 40. So now I'm going to swap 100 and 40. Yeah, so we are updating the selector, bringing back the iterator, and the index of the minimum position is updated to 3 as the selector points to 3. So now we are moving the iterator to 4. 90 and 50, 50 is minimum. 150, 50 is still minimum. So this index and the selector are both at the same position, so there is no need for update here. We are moving the selector so that I'm bringing back the iterator, and 90 is the minimum value, so the index is 4. Moving the iterator to 5th position, 90 and 100, 90 is minimum, so actually though there is no changes needed, so we are moving the selector to the last position, that is 100. So there is no other positions for moving the iterators, so we have finally sorted this array using the selection sort. This is how actually selection sort works. So now we can see how the code looks for selection sort. If you belongs to any programming languages, I hope this code, which is easy and understandable one. We are having two loops here. The first for loop is actually nothing but the selector, and the second for loop is nothing but the iterator. Okay, so this minimum position is our this placeholder. So whenever we are this selector starts from the 0th position to size of the array, and the iterator starts from selector plus 1 to end of the array. So we are comparing the value pointed by this iterator to the value in the minimum index. If the value in this iterator is less than the value in the minimum index, we are going to update the minimum index. Finally, we are going to swap. So actually, before swapping that, we can also check if minimum index equal to I, then there is no swap needed here. We can simply continue the loop. Okay. Finally, what is the time complexity? I'm already said that selection sort is more easiest of all, but is not efficient than anything. So finally, what is the time complexity? The time complexity is big O of n square, because actually n square because we are having two for loops and we are iterating to the full of it. So I hope this video was helpful to learn selection sort, and thank you from Dropout.